Hey guys, stop in and talk to you a little bit today about the non-scale victories that we always enjoy hearing about, and really we should concentrate on, because the scale is just a tool that kind of gives us an idea of where our, truly our body weight is, and it doesn't take in consideration gaining muscle tissue, dropping body fat, and things of that nature. So you must look at the scale literally as just a tool. And I know a lot of us just have been fixated on, the scale most of our lives, and especially if you've been a chronic individual that's been on a diet plan, is, you're so just used to looking at the scale as the only victory. And sometimes that leaves you, emotionally just kind of down or lost when some of these other things are happening and you're just so focused on the scale. So, I ask you guys to let the scale just be a part of one of your measurement tools as you guys go along, okay? The other thing is, if you're not taking, progress pictures weekly, I highly encourage you to do that, or at least every other week, and compare them back to week one. Not necessarily compare them, to last week's. I mean, you're welcome to do that, but literally compare it back to week one, because you guys are going to notice so much more changes this way versus just looking at the scale, okay? Remember, one of my goals for you guys and the way the macro plan is set up, I am a fan of what I call the lower carb, a little bit higher fat approach, because this helps control our blood sugar and our insulin levels for long-term success. Also, in long-term success, I look at, decreasing the rate of diseases. So when we talk about Alzheimer's, we talk about heart disease, kidney disease, any of these things that can affect our body. And we look at just aging in general. And this term, and I mentioned it before, I want to touch on it again, called glycation. And glycation is where sugar molecules connect to cells in the body. When you have this high level of glycation going on, it actually causes the cells to age faster. The faster the cells age, the more likely you are to develop disease. Okay, so when we're looking at long-term goals, it is to control those blood sugars and our insulin levels, and that's going to help us have success in many different ways other than the scale. Okay, so I see a lot of people posting things. One of my favorites is always like, if you don't have to have a seatbelt extender, and a lot of people don't think about that. But when we're carrying the extra weight and travel, when you have to sit down, in a seat, especially on an airplane, with them being so small, is, having to get that extender, makes you feel uncomfortable, embarrassed. Then, just on top of feeling bad anyway, because the seats are truly just so small. Okay, so that's one of my favorites always I like to see. The mental clarity, being able to think better or think sharper, that plays a role in just performance at work. So that's another thing that I truly enjoy, seeing out of that. Okay, so look at for other things other than the scale. I'm not saying the scale can't be a part of it, but look at doing weekly progress pictures. Look at maybe taking quarterly blood work over the next year to look at blood markers. There's a lot of things that we can look at other than just the scale. Okay, excited to see you guys at 9 o'clock tonight. I'll start the Q&A out with a little bit of a fat lecture, or lectures going to last that long, but education, because that was someone asked for me to do that, and I know I've mentioned it multiple times, but it's always good to rehash staying away from vegetable oils and what we should look for as far as what are the good quality fats. So we'll start that out tonight at 9 o'clock Eastern time for the Q&A, but also the lecture before that. All right, hope everybody's having a great week. Excited to see the changes that come at the end. I know we do drop the carbs a little bit more this week. That's part of the progress. So if you haven't been seeing the scale move, you may start to see the scale move. For those that have had big drops the first few weeks, if you start to feel a little bit sluggish and fatigued with the new drop, we might want to back it up to the following week number. So there's a little bit of play that we can do there. Talk to you guys tonight.